Hello, I'm Dr. Rosie Kuhn, and here we are again with another episode of I Want to Be a Better Coach. Now, I'm so grateful because I'm getting more people interested in what's really happening to us as coaches as we are in the evolution of who we are individually and as a collective. What's our work in the world? And I think that there's an expansion of potential of what's showing up for us personally, individually, and what's showing up again as a collective is like, where is this going? And my as I said to you last week, my perspective is that there's so much more light and expansion on on the earth. There's so much more potentiality of positivity and love and light coming in, and it looks like disruption and horrible, terrible chaos and war and all. It looks like that, and we can focus on that if you want to. But my job is to support and empower you and individuals who come to me for coaching. I'm here to support and empower people to look at this differently and what's really going on in real time as we transform as a collective. So that's what I want to speak to you to today. Personally, I'm going through what feels like a crisis, and a crisis in a sense is of an expansion. So if my perspective is that we are spiritual beings, we've come to and through this human experience to expand and grow, or to grow and expand. And it's like being an energy or whatever's inside a seed, and that seed, in order to actually allow for the growth of the plant energy inside, it has to expand, it has to break through. And so much of what's happening, it appears personally and individually for other people that I've witnessed, but also in terms of the collective on the planet, is we are in this expansion process, which can feel so uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable personally, and I think for every person I'm working with, it's uncomfortable. And that uncomfortability is what's happening right now. And so what most of us do, as I mentioned last time, is we tend to go, okay, so how do we be with this in a way that, how do we ignore it? How do we avoid it? How do we manage it? How do we do something so it doesn't exist? Well, the challenge is it does exist. It's existing right now. And anytime I'm sitting with a client or one of the people that I'm training to be coaches, they're in the midst of a transformative process. We all are. And so my conversations as a coach has become more directed to what's happening right now. What's happening right now? What's the experience you're having right now? So as individuals are talking about their life and their challenges, and they get to a point of an expression of truth, I don't want to do this anymore. It's like, hell yes, good to know. Like, hell, I don't want to be in this relationship anymore. Hell, I don't want to be doing this work anymore. I want something different. And in that moment, there's a declaration, and like, hell yes, that's so great when people do that. And they go, but I don't know how to do it different. But I don't know how to. But if we go into that but and let them go in that direction, we miss the opportunity. We miss the moment to go, wait, what's it like for you right now as you declare, I don't want to do this anymore? What's that like for you? That's so important. And as you're doing this for your client, holding that space, like, what's it like for you in this moment of transformation? This moment of potentiality just opened up because it's like, I don't want to do this. Put a stake in the ground. Don't want to do it. And what most of us do is, yes, but what if only? If only it was this. If only I had $1 million. If only I had. It's like, nope, this is what's going on. Here you are. Here's the challenge, the dilemma. Here's what you say is true. I don't want to do this anymore. What's showing up? And not like what's showing up, but like, wow, this is an exciting moment. What shows up in you declaring or expressing this truth? I don't want to do this anymore. What's that like for you? This is an embodied experience. This is the, we think of, most of us live in logical rational. This is where fear and lack. It's like, when we get beyond that and go, wow, I just noticed something shifted when you said, I don't want to do this anymore. I want something different. What shifted? And what shifted was this energetically, or a person, you might see somebody light up. I was talking to this client the other day, and she was talking about, I'll say she's a Pilates instructor. I'll just say that she's a Pilates instructor. And she goes, when I'm doing Pilates, and she just, the whole essence of her just diminished. When I'm doing this, and then she went, but da 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 da, and da 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 da, and it's like, what's that? Oh, that's where I have freedom and flexibility, and this is where spontaneity happens, and this is where I'm playing and playful. And I go, what's that like? Because when you're in here, you're going, the energy shift is so quick. And as a coach who's paying attention, I'm watching that, and I go, what was that? And she goes, oh, that, but I can't live in that. That would be childish. That would be selfish. That would be, it's like, wait, stop. And then all this interpretation, these contexts, like, it's wrong to want what I want. It's wrong to have fun while I'm working. It's wrong to, and fill in the blank. But it's like, no, stop that right now. What's it like when you are in that state? This is what we're playing with. And at the same time, as importantly, is we're doing this with ourselves, with our clients. We're having a transformative moment when we say, I can keep coaching from this structure and from this limited perspective, and I'm scared to try something new, but I know that this isn't going to get my client where they want to go. This is limiting, and I can see how it's limiting me and my ability to be present. And so we're having this internal dialogue with ourselves, and we get to a point where we go, okay, I want to ask this question, but I'm really scared. Like, that's the same moment, that same transformative moment that we're expecting and anticipating and wanting for our clients, we're going through at the same time. We have to. We are in this dance with our clients. The more that we can hold that space for something new and reveal that, and then go, what was that? What just showed up? They go, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. You go, no, when you said such and so, tell me what you, say that again. And they'll say it again, and they'll feel the same spark. And I'll go, what's that? Because I'm courageous enough to shift my own orientation that's allowing something else to show up. This gives our clients the ability to know, hey, I'm listening. I'm right here with you. I'm right here. I'm just at this on the edge of my seat in anticipation of your becoming whoever that is. Yeah, but, and then you'll see them collapse into the constrained. It's like, no, wait, stop. Let's practice. Let's go into this. And so we have this dialogue and this push and pull, because I'm in it. Because again, I'm growing my capacity as a coach. It always means I'm at the edge of my comfort zone, meeting my clients where they're at. And the people that I train, they go, wow, Rosie, you do that so effortlessly. And I go, yeah, because hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of conversations with people where I had to see where I was afraid, but knew that my fear was getting in the way of being most effective as a coach. I had to keep practicing moving outside my comfort zone. It can be scary. It is scary. But that's what we're asking of our clients. We want them to make shifts and changes in ways that are really death-defying quite often. And we're doing that too as we grow our capacity to be better coaches. So I'm going to check my notes. So coaching to transformation is happening in the moment. And I say this, I have a book called 36 Principles of Transformational Coaching. It's an ebook on Amazon. And it's like, we're always coaching to the moment. We're not coaching to the past. We might reference the past and go, where did you learn that? Or how did that show up for you in the past? And they go, well, I learned that because of this situation. It's like, okay, great. And what is it you want in the future? I want happiness and prosperity and love and playfulness. Okay, great. We've just referenced that. And we come back to the moment. Okay, here you are now in the moment. Here's some information. What's it like for you to hold this? what was, and hold what you want, your intention for a fulfilling life over here. What's that like for you right now? Looking at that. We're coaching to what's happening in present time. It's the only, as you grow your coaching practice, you will see it's the only place where your coaching will be effective. It's the only place where you grow yourself as a coach. I have a coaching group for coaches. If you're interested, check down below because it would be great to have you there. But one person said, you can't, she's been coaching for a long time and she's been in this group for about 3 years. She said, you can't learn this stuff from a book. You can't read about it or watch a YouTube video on it. You have to be in the direct experience of these moments that you go, oh God, if I ask that question, she might, or he might, or I might. And it's like we take that leap of faith. We take that leap of faith. And you're doing that, and your client is doing that in the moment, in the session. Maybe 300 times. There's only 60 minutes in a session, but maybe 300 times or 10 times that you are doing that. And every time you do it, it becomes more natural and more effective. And you go, hey, I get it. This is scary stuff for me and for you. These videos that I do here, they're scary for me because, number one, I'm not sure how they're going to come out. Don't know how you're going to receive them. That's all I know. But what I'm presenting to you is my truth, and that's all that matters to me, is that my intention is to provide a perspective that could assist you in being more effective as a coach, which means you're going to be more effective as a human being because you have to look at your stuff and where you're attached and where you identify and where you're scared and where, as Yoda says, train yourself to let go of what you're afraid to lose. So we as coaches have to do this as we're coaching other people to do the same thing. Otherwise, we're kind of cowards. I know I found myself being a coward many times when my clients are like being extraordinary in their courage. And I go, wow, I got to look at some stuff inside me, because there's places, especially coaches and therapists and psychologists, who can hide out in these relationships and not be doing their own personal work. That's a big statement, but I know it's true. I know it's true because I coach a lot of coaches, and what shows up is where they're hiding out. And it's not a bad thing. It's just what we do because we're scared human beings. But if we don't take responsibility for our own momentum towards courage, we can't expect people who we're here to serve to do the same thing. That's silly. And I've been in those places. I've been there, and I'm here now. So we'll just say it that way. But yeah, I know these places of being a coward or saying, oh, I'll help them do it. That'll make me look good, but I'm not doing it. And so I've had to and continue to face these fearful places of expansion where it's really uncomfortable. And we don't like to be uncomfortable, and we are not given a context in this world for discomfort other than to say there's some dysfunction or disorder, as opposed to going, nope, these are growing pains. This is you expanding to break out of the mold or the context or the rigidity of the paradigms that we live in. This is uncomfortable. I can tell you firsthand. It's uncomfortable. And being with the discomfort, that's courageous. Being with it in a way that allows us to break through old paradigms, old patterns, old belief systems, old identities or attachments, that's courageous. Getting support so that you can do this most effectively for you, that's courageous. And the more you do that, the more you are available to support other people in doing that. Okay. The state of being in transformation, I just spoke to that. It can be, if you imagine, the little little caterpillar, he's happy, happy, happy. And then he creates this chrysalis, this cocoon, and goes inside. And now it becomes transmuted. He disappears. There's no caterpillarness. Now, if you imagine that happening to your own body, you can imagine that's going to be pretty uncomfortable. And that's kind of what we go through. We go through a defragging or a sloughing off of what no longer is required or is in the way. It's uncomfortable. It's like it's a detoxing, it's a purging. And if you've ever gone through a detox process, it's uncomfortable because these toxicities are leaving our system. And at the same time, we are generating. There's a generative process where we've created this space for the old to leave, out with the old, in with the new, and we're making it's this both and that's happening. So if you're interested, there's a YouTube series video that I did called Inward Bound Boot Camp for Self-Transformation. And there's 21 videos there about this process from the caterpillar into the chrysalis into the butterfly. And it's very helpful if you're a person who's coaching or parenting, whatever your support is. It's really good. I think it's really good. I like it. So that's a way of looking at it. But the state of being in transformation, we don't address this usually as a coach. We go, oh, I'm a transformative coach. I'm a transformational coach. I'll help you get through that. I'll just wave my magic wand. La, la, la. Oh, well, there it is, where it is. I have a magic wand here. But basically, it doesn't work the way we want it to work. There's my magic wand. It doesn't work the way we want it to work, but by waving it and blink, you're now in your magical paradigm of heaven and love and life and happiness. It doesn't work that way because you need to go through these stages of transformation. And most people think, wow, that was a miracle just happened. I've now got millions of dollars. Like, how did that happen? It's like, well, you probably did a lot of work to get yourself to this place. And a lot of people who win the lottery, they go bonkers because they don't know how to be with that level of money and all of the challenges that come with it. It sometimes drives them crazy. Literally. So, and the money disappears within I think they say most people who win the lottery, their money's gone within 5 years because they don't have the capacity, the sustainability for that. That's why this process is so important, because we're helping people to sustain, to see where they're at along the journey and to support them and saying, yeah, you're doing great. Here's what you're building. Here's what you're growing. Here's what you're letting go of. That's our job, is to be a witness, to see, hear, and get them. And that's what's happening in this transformative state of being, is we are the witness for how this person is in the process of transformation. So again, check out the Inward Bound Bootcamp for Self-Transformation. I think it'd be really helpful. So as I mentioned, the third point is what you might experience as indicators of transformation. Synchronicities, you might feel discomfort, you might feel exhaustion, you might feel emotional, you might feel disoriented, you might feel confused, you might feel doubt and uncertainty. You might feel like, I used to love this and now I don't. What's going on? Like this, the uncertainties, the I don't know how to think about this. I used to know how to do this. Used to think this was great. I have a client who said, I used to want to be this. And so I should want to be this, but I don't want to be this anymore. And it must be something wrong with me. And I know this is where we go. I know I went there. There must be something wrong with me that I don't want what I want when I wanted it before. And that's a good indicator that there's a transformative process occurring. And this is really helpful for you, but also personally and professionally, but in terms of holding people, like they come in and they go, I used to be happy here and now I'm not. And maybe there's something wrong with me. And it's like, hell no, there's nothing wrong with you. You're expanding to something is wanting to grow. You're in that metamorphosis process. Something is occurring here. And how do we hold that as coaches? How do we hold this? That's why I train people to be coaches. That's why I've got the coaching group to hold you in a bigger way so that you have a greater expanded sense of what's possible for you as a coach. Okay. It's very clear. I already spoke to this. The courage it takes to transform your coaching. Every moment you can come from another one of my coach trainees. She loves stories, and forever her clients told her stories about their life, and it took hours for her sessions, and all they did basically was regurgitate stuff in their lives. They weren't necessarily growing any capacity or much for their future unfolding. And little by little, she's been able to recognize, wow, I'm being more courageous in not being open to the stories, but being more open to being in the present moment and coaching to the present moment without the story. Sometimes stories are good, but in this practice, it's also good to be able to go, yeah, no, I'm not going to listen to that right now. We need to focus on what's it like being you right now in this moment. So as a coach, she's needing to look at what it takes to transform her coaching to be more in alignment with what wants to unfold within her. This is an unfoldment of you. It's an unfoldment into your expanded self. And the more you do this, the more your clients are going to do it. The more you make room for that possibility. And it's very fulfilling. And when you get to the point going, yeah, this just doesn't feel like enough, and I've had people say this to me, this doesn't feel like enough, this coaching model. And so I'm wanting something more. And I go, well, come check it out and see if it works for you. And if it does, awesome. So and if it doesn't, there's something else for you, but not through me necessarily. So I'm totally open to that. I'm courageous to say, hey, if I'm your teacher, coach, whatever, awesome. If I'm not, you're going to find the right person for you. And that makes me happy and it makes them happy. As opposed to creating dependency. You should want what I have. And that's what 90% of our marketing is about, is you should want what I have. Because I'm the one. It's like, no, this is what I'm offering and I'm the invitation. Here's what I'm inviting you to. And you get to choose what you want. And it may not be me. And I'm totally good with that. But it's taken me a long time. What if they don't like me? What if they don't want me? What if I can't make any money? I've gone through 99% of my life that way. Thank God I've gotten to this point where I can say to you what I'm saying to you. And I'm grateful for that, regardless of how much money I make or how successful I am, how many clients I have. That's not an indicator of my success anymore. The indicator of my success is what it feels like here, talking to you today, and with my clients, or with coaches in training. That's what I'm wanting to say. So what we're always coaching to is that place of, here's how I was trained to be a coach. Here's my assumptions about how to do this and be in conversation. That comes from a place of safety and certainty. This is how I know, this is what I'm going to do. And we're learning to coach to doubt and uncertainty. What your clients are coming to you with is doubt and uncertainty. They do not have faith in themselves that they can do this. They don't have self-trust that they can do this. So what most of us do as coaches is we go, oh, you can do this, here, and I'm going to help you get there. It's like, no. That's a model of certainty and safety. That's what we're trained. But if we go, okay, let's talk about what's happening right now, and the client shares with you what it's like to be themselves right now, we can listen for courage. We can listen for all the evidence of their abilities to grow and be, regardless of uncertainty, regardless of doubt. And for me, one of the indicators is, hey, I start with, do you put your underwear on in the right direction? That's an indication of ability. Can you walk to the bathroom and go to the bathroom? Yep. Can you brush your teeth? Yep. And then it gets absurd, right? Can you drive a car? Yeah. Can you have conversations with a stranger? Yep. So all these places become evidence of an individual's capacity to trust themselves. And they go, yeah, no, can't trust myself. It's like, wait, you're looking at this and saying, here's all the ways that I am effective and I can trust myself. What happened, or where is it that you don't trust yourself? Well, I've never done this before, so I don't trust myself. I'm going to be able to do it. And this is one of those insane elements of our fear-based paradigm is we have trained ourselves to not look at how competent we are. We're looking always for where we're not going to be able to be successful. And that's a sad state of affairs. And for us as coaches to say, wait a minute, where have you actually failed in your life? And they go, when I was 17, I crashed my mom's car into the trees. Okay, any other? Nope. Okay, great. So indicators are, the evidence is you have the capacity. But the traumas of our realities have us so ingrained and imprinted into this place of, I can't trust myself. That's what we're coaching to all the time. Every single conversation with our clients are about self-doubt and self-trust. I gotta get my cat in. Hang on a second. Hey, buddy. Come in. Hi. Come on in. Hi. So we're coaching self-doubt and uncertainty. We're coaching from learning personally that you are safe with yourself in these conversations. You're not going to fall apart. Your clients are not going to hate you. They might go away, but that's their stuff. That's not yours. You being authentic and truly present and witnessing your clients, seeing, hearing, and getting them where they're at, that's the biggest gift you can give for people in this transformative process. Every single individual on this planet is going through a transformational process. And your ability to go, yeah, this is a transformational process. We're life coaches. We're life coaches. That means we're coaching to where people are in their lives and supporting and empowering them to go the next step, the next incremental step to get them into that state of fulfillment that they're wanting. And that's pretty much it. So, like I said below, down in the descriptions, there's books, there's access to videos. I've got all kinds of YouTube videos. I do coaching, and I coach people one-on-one or train people one-on-one, and we've got our coaching group. And there'll be some more offerings coming. I don't know when, but they will. Hey, it would be great if you liked this video and left a comment. It's interesting. I noticed when I'm looking at other people's videos that perhaps 1% or 10% at the most of the people are actually giving people thumbs up. And it's so curious. That's Lucy right there. It's so curious why we are so reluctant to giving thumbs up. If it's valuable, it's such a little gift and means so much to those who are YouTubers. So much just to say, hey, I appreciate what you did. Just one little thumbs up and a little comment goes a long way. Hey, thanks. You can do that for me or not. I'm just saying, hey, why not? It might be one of those moments of safety versus uncertainty or doubt. Like, what is that about for you? Regardless of what you're watching and where you're watching it, what's that about for you that you don't say, hey, I like this, thank you? Just as a question, just as a possibility. All right, that's it for now. Sending you big hugs and blessings. This is all big work for you personally to even consider the possibility of expanding outside the structures that have been so much a part of the paradigms that we've lived in. So I'm so grateful that you're here, and I will see you next week. All right, bye for now.